Hey, thank you so much for your question. So I'm going to answer this based on my personal experience using naltrexone for alcohol addiction and also from the perspective as someone who's been a coach to others in this space for over 5 years. Of course, I'm not a doctor and this is not medical advice, just information I'm sharing. So when someone takes the medication naltrexone 1 hour before drinking, this is called the Sinclair Method treatment protocol. What happens is the naltrexone medication is sitting on opioid receptors in the brain. And what naltrexone is doing is essentially binding and blocking these opioid receptors so that when someone consumes alcohol, they're not getting the same flood of endorphin reward from the alcohol because the medication is basically blocking the endorphins from latching on. And endorphins are the pleasure hormone that actually makes drinking really addictive, makes alcohol really addictive because when we drink, it's very pleasurable and rewarding for our brain. And so when naltrexone is taken before drinking, it's kind of blocking or blunting or muting some of that reward. It doesn't make it unpleasurable, but it just makes it a little bit less exciting, a little bit less interesting, and a little bit less pleasurable. For most of us, this process isn't something we notice immediately the first time we take naltrexone or even the first several times we take the medication. It's something that builds and builds over time and takes several months for many of us. And just speaking from my personal experience with this, so I started the medication as a daily drinker. I had no off switch and no control when I drank. And as I started on the naltrexone medication, taking it 1 hour before I was drinking, I just noticed that I started to gradually regain control over alcohol, whereas before I would drink until blacking out or passing out most of the time. With the help of naltrexone over time, I was drinking, 3 to 4 glasses of wine and feeling satisfied with that and being able to put the cork back in the bottle and not feel the need to drink more. I also noticed that my mental preoccupation and just thinking about drinking and my desire and craving for alcohol was starting to fade. And as that was happening, then I started to have more and more alcohol-free days that weren't really difficult. I just didn't feel like drinking on those days, and so I just didn't drink. So because of naltrexone, I haven't drank in about 5.5 years. That was never my intention with this protocol. I went on it to simply reduce my drinking and become a moderate drinker, which is a goal for many people who use this treatment. It's a realistic goal. But what happened for me is after a year on this treatment protocol, I just found that I lost interest in alcohol. I went longer and longer without drinking, and now it's been over 5.5 years since I've drank, and I no longer take the naltrexone medication either since I was only taking it 1 hour before drinking. It's not that naltrexone necessarily makes people want to stop drinking alcohol altogether. It does happen for some people like me. What it does for a lot of people as well is it just gives them more control over alcohol. So in the long run, when people are using this treatment for months and months, or even multiple years, they may drink, but they drink a few times a year on holidays or on, weekends or special events or special vacations. And they don't feel the need to drink more than that because they don't have a desire to drink more than that. So they can really get to a place of moderation and control with alcohol. I hope this answers your question. As always, you can learn more about this treatment with my other videos or the link in my profile.